let's first focus on using multiple instances. Here we get this div with the ID app. Now the simplest thing is to simply copy this div and create a new one, name it app2, and let's rename the first one to app1. I'll rename the selector here, the element property therefore here to app1, or change it to app1. And then I can simply scroll down and create a new Vue instance below the first one. So this is in normal JavaScript code. And here I set up this L selector selecting app2 with the hashtag. And now on app2, I'll delete everything but the title to just show that it works. I'll set up a new data property on my new instance. And there I will save this title, the second instance. If I now hit Control Enter, we see the second instance on the right too. So it's perfectly fine to control multiple pieces on your page with multiple instances. Be aware though that of course inside of an instance, you can only access the properties of that specific instance with this keyword. So in the first instance here, if I access this title here, this of course will always refer to the title in the data property of this instance here, and not to the title in the second instance. There is no connection between the two instances. These are two separate, kind of VueJS apps if you want to call them, or basically just different VueJS instances controlling different parts of your DOM. It's perfectly fine to use this setup, and actually you will see this in real applications where you don't want to create a complex single page application using Vue.js, but only want to throw in some widgets, let's say. Let's say you want to create your own calendar widget. Then you could place your calendar named div id equals calendar and control it with Vue.js. And then you might on the same page have another widget where, for example, you have some tabs to click through and display different content. And you could create a new Vue instance for this. So that is perfectly fine. You may have multiple Vue instances for different tasks as long, and this is the key, as long as there is no connection between them. If you need to call the function from one instance from another instance, while we will soon see that there technically will be a possibility to do so, I recommend putting it all into one instance because, well, it seems to belong together from a business logic perspective anyways, right? But if that is not the case, you're perfectly fine to use multiple instances just like that.